today I'm going to show you how to draw from a still life. I got my cube here as a reference, and you notice your perspective changes as you move around the cube. I'm going to be drawing from this perspective. First, I'm going to identify the shapes, the general shapes of my 3D object. It is a cube, so it's a square from above and 2 diamonds. I'm going to start with the simple square. And then I'm going to draw my parallel lines down for the sides. Connect those. There we go. We've got our cube. Then I'm going to identify the shapes of the shadows. I have a soft light coming in from this direction that's showing a shadow on this side of my cube. These sides are also darker than the top of my cube. I'm going to add the value after I identify all of the shapes in my still life. So I've got some shadow lines that aren't quite, they're fading over here, so I'm not going to draw those all the way in. Now we can shade with a few different techniques. I'm going to be using cross-hatching for this tutorial. And cross-hatching is just adding parallel lines and going over those lines again perpendicularly. You can also add in some diagonal lines as well to add to the value. As you add more lines, you are building the value. So I've got my 2 darker sides of my cube, and just looking at where the light is coming from, I'm just going to draw in my little sun to show you a perspective of where the shadows are coming from. The light is hitting the top of my cube. So there's a pretty harsh line right here that I want to make sure that I'm defining. I'm really building up this shadow here. And don't worry about the designs on your still life yet. We're just worrying about the general shape and shadow. This is how we break down complex subject matter into shapes and value. So after I've refined my shadows a little bit, and I've got my cube, the shape that I want with some of the background values that I want, I can start adding in some of the details that I'm seeing. And you can get more detailed with larger drawings. It's tedious to be drawing small. Some artists prefer to draw smaller. Some artists work with very large scale drawings, and So the larger the drawing, the more detail you are able to add.